Stats, I think, is just going to rally this down here. Now, normally, guys, we don't see them attack and flub after that in games like this. So normally, either one guy gets the lead or they just continue to expand outward. But these guys are barely able to stay on their fourth bases because they're losing so much.
They've dealt so much damage to each other with every attack, but then lost too much army so that they get more damage out of them on the next counter. It's like kind of crazy, the game that we're watching, but really, really good stuff. Stats trying to take his fifth base right now. I think it's slowing down. I think it's normalizing a little bit. You know, where they're both like, okay, let's build up slightly bigger armies so that if we do have a fight, one of us can win the game.
It's kind of funny. Terran is a little bit reluctant to push out just yet. He may be waiting for the rest of his medevacs to come over here. You know, earlier we saw there was a ton of medevacs in that fight over the fourth base for Protoss, but they were out of energy. They couldn't heal. They were just paperweights.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Let's see what happens. No, Terran's actually just going to expand again himself. Okay, so I think they've both finally calmed down and are now going to start mass expanding.
Yeah. You know, this is going to be kind of interesting, too, because Kier has had 3 starports forever. So his medevac and liberator count is starting to get really high, and that's what he's focusing on. He's not really making quite as much bio, you know, just with the money that he does have, trying to get these units that are kind of better long-term units. So, oh, a couple VTs come in. Just the wrong moment. But yeah, it looks like Stats is just going to stay on this Colossus-based tech. And I feel like right now, if Kier had like a map hack or something, if he could see everything and know everything right now, I feel like going into Liberator range could be a fantastic move, but his economy is pretty weak at the moment.
Uh-oh. Nice job there by Stats. Actually takes out that Liberator. Now, you can see Kier is trying to cut the map in half. I don't know if this is going to be too wise. The problem is that if he angles it right, he can poke the infantry with the Colossi. That backs up. He blinks and he hits the Liberators, and then he can actually get back up.
That's the tricky moment. That's where...
Nah, that's much easier said than done.
Yeah.
But that is what you want to do.
That's where it's like, okay, how many Marauders does he have standing here? How many concussive shells are going to connect and kill Stalkers, you know? Because everything that gets concussed with that blink in as he stims forward, it's like... It's a very quick maneuver. It's kind of like dropping tank-backs against each other, you know?
I almost feel like Stats could actually do it now. I don't see Vikings in that mix. Okay, he's starting to do it.
Ooh.
There we go.
Out of position here a little bit. Those Liberators getting caught and blinking. And good moves here by Stats, forcing Kier back.
Okay. Can Stats do this? If he can cut off the fifth base from the fourth base and get control of this position, that would be huge. Okay, nice job again. Goes in there, dives on that.
Now, there's a lot of Marauders in here, but that Colossi count is getting so scary indeed. The SCV's being pulled up. This is Kier with some desperation.
This is too much. The Colossi in the back are going to clean up this entire attack.
Does look that way, especially these more Adepts coming down right now. Kier just barely doesn't have it.
All right, that game, I forget how many times each of them were in the lead there.
Yeah.
We do not normally cast a game like that.
That was a little bit crazy. I gotta say, I really like the play out of both players. I think they both played really fantastically. There was definitely a little bit of overcommittals on both sides.
Right.
But they both look like they're in pretty top shape right now.
Unfortunately, that was a 2-0 win there for Stats. Stats is our first winner going on to the winners match here. And Kier is obviously not out of the tournament yet, but it's going to have to come down. We're going to see what happens in our next match, the PvP.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on with day 2 of the GSL Code S.
깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성 사이다.
짬뽕이네. 와, 맛있는 거. 근데 어디서 시킨 거예요? 그거 시킨 거 아닌데. 오뚜기 볶음 진짬뽕인데. 호떡이 볶음 진짬뽕. 볶음 뜬 짬뽕. 볶음 뜬 짬뽕. 와, 정말로 화끈하네. 볶음 진짬뽕 외에는 절대 현혹되지 마소.
진짜 괜찮네. 라이크 좋아. 좋아요. 야 이거는 내 거네. 이거 스노우웹에서 내 쓰라고 이걸 만들었네. 채팅창 폭동 일으키지 마. 봉준이는 A를 극구하고 있어요. 우리 러머디 형님들 많은 분들 스노우웹 어플 깔아주셔서 지금 라이브 채팅에 도전해주세요. 앙앙 러머디? 러머디? 토끼 고양이 이런 거 실시간으로 라이브야. 기능 굉장히 좋지 않냐 스노우웹? 괜찮은 것 같아. 오늘 스노우웹 때문에 배꼽 째겠다.
여러분 안녕하세요. 짬짜면 복짜면 복짜면 복탕 뭐 탕복밥 먹다가 고추 잡채, 소프트 크림, 향나기, 전가복, 유린기 이게 어디로 먹어야 될지 막 지금 막 눈알 뒤집힙니다. 체지방이 쌓이기 전에 그리고 콜레스테롤이 쌓이기 전에 이렇게 먹으면서 관리를 하는 거죠. 메타그린과 함께 또 맛있는 먹방 또 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 안녕. 우리 여러분 건강해져요. 밥 먹으면서 안녕.
거의 게임 마스터. 무슨 게임을 하더라도 뭐 기본 이상.
네.
지금 그걸 연습할 때가 아닙니다. 그렇습니다. 이렇게 하는 거예요. 이겼나?
이겼나 이거?
추가 시간. 좋아. 자리야 킬. 나이스.
드디어. 소나님이랑 닮았다는 소리는 듣는데
네네네.
LW 팀 소개합니다. 저를 키우는 게 보통이 아니거든요. 파이팅! 나이스! 공 한번 쓰죠.
한 번 이겼어요.
나이스!
와! 이겼어. 야! 어디?
개인 방송에서도 할 의향이 있어요.
방패 정도는
우리 범 선수에 다시 한번 박수 치면서
저 박수를 한번.
이거 팀장 미팅이냐? 이게 뭐라 그렇게 긴장이 되죠? 느낌 왔어! 자, 들어가자. 지금이니! 마무리야!
오버워치
파이팅!
오호, 물로 지금 거의 뭐 수분을 그냥 갖다 들이붓는 것 같아요. 자, 바른 쪽과 안 바른 쪽입니다. 차이 보여드릴게요. 내가 발라봤는데 개편. 앞으로 그냥 나도 찍어 발라야 될 것 같아요. 잘 봐요. 자, 이렇게 깔끔하게 아래쪽만 다듬어도 선이 딱 살아있잖아요. 선 라인 자체가. 잠깐만. 이런 느낌이구나. 허허. 오늘 여러 가지 제품들 올리브영에서 제가 지금 제품을 받아서 사용을 해봤는데 굉장히 좋은 것 같아요. 올리브영 제품이 짱인 것 같습니다.
립스틱이나 이런 거 놓고 오잖아? 그러면 오늘 화장이 좀 떴네 이러면서 이거 뭐 괜찮다. 맞아. 거의 진짜 생얼로 갔다가 풀메이크로 보고 나올 수가 있어. 거기는 미스트부터 뿌려야 돼. 갈게요. 짠! 뭔 색이 제일 이뻐요? 나 예뻐? 예뻐. 한 군데서 해결할 수 있으니까 올리브영 한 번씩 가보셔도 여러분 좋을 것 같아요. 올리브영을 통해 새로운 사람으로 태어난 것 같아요.
미소가 생기다. 화사함이 생기다. 건강한 하루가 생기다. pH 8.0과 풍부한 미네랄로 핑크빛 생기가 생기다. 아이시스 8.0. 이제 모두 핑크하세요.
답답할 때 마셔봐요 트로피카나. 상큼상큼 과일 듬뿍 스파클링.
리얼 프루트를 스파클링으로
과즙이 톡톡 쏜다. 트로피카나 스파클링.
스타일 상쾌하면 되는 거야. 상쾌함의 높이가 다르다. Stylish Sparkling Water 롯데 트래비.
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
(2016) Hot 6 GSL Season 2 Code S.
What's up, guys? We're back. The GSL Code S. We just had kind of a fun DDT.
Yeah.
Definitely a back and forth one. It was interesting. Stats did come out on top, but it was like a bumpy ride for him to get there.
Yeah, it certainly was.
But Kira seems to be somebody who's got a good idea of how to play TDP, so he's still got a chance to get out of this. This is our underdog match. This is going to be Hero versus Myunchik.
Yeah, this is where a hero gets to show us what he's been doing for the last
or what he's not been
month
doing.
or so. Yeah. You know, obviously this guy was one of the best players in the world at one point. this is not that point. Hopefully he can show us something here.
He's been around since the very beginnings of StarCraft 2, and he's not on a team right now, but he's good enough to qualify, good enough to make it in the Codes. He deserves our respect in that sense. But he's, you know, if you're not on a team in Korea, that's generally a really, really, really bad indicator.
Yes.
You're not training in a house full of other pro gamers. You're not being mentored or coached.
Yeah.
You don't have people in your training house that will take care of, you know, cooking the food, keeping the house clean. You're kind of just, you're a guy that's really good at games.
Yeah.
That is doing his own thing. But, I mean, if you qualify, why not come down here and compete? Now, Myunchik, on the other hand, this guy is on an amazing team.
Yeah.
And he's been doing very well lately.
It's the best team of all time, SK Telecom. And, you know, I thought he was going to have a stronger showing so far this year. He's still looking pretty good, but...
He had a stronger start.
Yeah, he had a great start in December to Legacy of the Void, but it's been a little bit harder lately. I think he is definitely favored to win this, and I think him versus Kira would be a really good match.
Yeah.
If it does come down to that, but yeah, I don't know. He's really the wild card in this group.
Yeah, I expect this to be a 2-0 Artosis, but I would be pleasantly surprised if Hero won a game or even won the series. But Myunchik is a tough player.
He is.
I think that Hero, out of all the 32 players we have at the start of this tournament in Codes, I think Hero is possibly the weakest.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would. His match against Pet was like really down and dirty, and really neither of them are truly Codes quality.
Yeah, I mean he was riding the mechanical bull in that series. Like, he just stayed on long enough, but it wasn't like Hero smashed his opponent either. Myunchik has been doing great in individual and team leagues. He's had some fantastic performances.
I like that. Riding the mechanical bull, he just like hung on long enough.
Yeah,
that is kind of how that
He's like,
series
okay,
was.
I got all my pylons up. I got enough of the attacks up. My guy had to leave the game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like he was executing, brilliant, perfect Codes play.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens here. Now, Hero may have some strats that we've never seen before.
Totally.
He's had a lot of that in the past. He's definitely one of the trickier players that's ever been in StarCraft 2. He's just also been one of the most anxious players we've ever had in StarCraft 2, and therefore doesn't play as well as he does when he's at home. This is a well-known fact with Hero. And nerves get the best of some pro gamers. Myunchik is somebody who strikes me as never nervous ever when I've ever seen him.
Yeah, he does not really give off that vibe, which I think is going to be hard for Hero. And like Hero's tricks, I don't know if he work on such a tricky Protoss like Myunchik.
Let's go ahead and go into game number 1. The map is Dusk Towers. In the upper left, in the blue, our Protoss player.
Hero.
No team names attached.
Big H, big O.
He is like a one-man army in this sense.
Yeah.
Nobody here to coach him or support him. In the bottom right, in the red.
SK Telecom T1. Myunchik.
Oh, looks.
We're catching him drinking the hot 6.
Hot 6, isn't it delicious?
It's delicious. They support esports. I think we give that away at the front desk.
Yeah, we do.
We do, right? Yeah. What if I'm wrong? The nice woman at the front desk is just drinking a hot 6. Someone goes and takes it away. The casters said they could do it.
Look at this. Myunchik going with a very, very quick probe scout here.
I think this is really smart.
Yeah.
Because Hero is unpredictable. He doesn't play on a team right now. He just wants to get in there and try to get an idea of what direction Hero's going to take this game.
Yeah, and it's really annoying as well because you can make them take their gas extra early, or you can steal their gas sometimes.
Sure.
Notice how Hero's making a Zealot right now. That's because very likely there'd be a pylon block at his back nexus. That's like one of the best things to do. That's why you see this wall in from Myunchik with the double pylon. Like most pros either go 2-gate openers here or that, because they're like, well, I can't let this happen, which is a pylon in the back.
So right now, Hero, or Myunchik rather, doing a good job of taking control here early on in this game to try to dictate the way the Hero is going to play. And Myunchik's going to be pretty crafty with his probe. Let's see if he can come in here and maybe do another block. Nope. Going to rotate over here into the main now. And Myunchik is expanding behind this because as long as his probe is in here running around, scouting, or even denying that Nexus from being planted, there's not much the Hero can do about it. So I already say Myunchik's in a good spot this time around.
Yeah, he's got good intel and all that. He's forced Hero into this position, like, you don't want to Zealot.
No.
What's a Zealot going to do?
Well, that's the problem.
Is he going to live till later when he has charge and +2 attack? Like, is he going to make it there? I don't know, man.
No, he's forced into making that unit he doesn't want, and this probe can stay alive for a while. I mean, it's actually more nimble than the Zealot is. And look, it's even going to scout, see exactly the progress of the Nexus being made at this new expansion. Definitely a frustrating moment for Hero. This is one of the longer periods we've ever seen a probe in somebody else's base.
Look at that.
And finally, he takes that out.
Really trying for some Globetrotter stuff there.
3 minutes in there, that probe was running around. So
quite a while.
Yeah.
So the tech paths have been chosen, and Hero getting his Stargate, whereas Myungshik going into a Twilight. Myungshik is trying to figure out what this tech is. His probe wanted to double back, but wasn't able to. And he sees it, and that's really, really important that he knows.
Wow, this is like a really great game here from Myungshik.
Yeah, he needs to recall. Okay, there we go.
Yes, he does.
Very last second. Okay, so from Hero now, he probably has to make a Phoenix. Yeah, he goes into Phoenix. Like, just scouting the Stargate is really powerful because then they won't even make an Oracle against you most of the time. You know, because, like, the thing is, if he has a Stargate, you make an Oracle, and he saw your Stargate and he makes a Phoenix,
then
you're way behind. Yeah. Unless you're Zest, you're probably dead.
So, as this game continues on, let's see how Hero can adapt, because right now, Myungshik basically did everything right. He had that probe alive long enough. He got the pylon block on the Nexus. He got the Mothership Core in there to scout. So, I mean, honestly, for Hero, this is just a really uncomfortable position to be in from here on out.
Yeah.
Ideally, you know, especially if you're in a tournament game, you want to be able to hide as much of what you're trying to do from your opponent, so they just don't know.
And look at this kind of fancy stuff that we're seeing out of Hero, by the way. See, he's going to come in here and scout a little bit and see that, you know, Blink is on the way, obviously. But he's going for a Twilight. Oh, okay. He's going to hide DTs. So this is, I don't think that this is like a terrible call from him. Like,
well,
the normal play is just to go into Immortals with your Phoenixes, but this, you know, maybe you can catch him off guard if Myungshik is going too hard on the Stalkers.
Well, he's got some Phoenixes here with this group. He's going to go ahead and get the Dark Shrine. We're still waiting to see that come up here. But I'm not sure if this is going to work on Myungshik. Oh, let's see if Hero can actually catch the probe.
That would be really nice.
He's just outside of range. Does he see it? Oh. Okay, there we go. Gets it. Denies the expansion.
All right. Nice little harassment there. Myungshik, in the meantime, is going for a Prism. His Blink is about to finish. Likely going to drop the hammer and go for a strong attack coming up here. Now, if he's like really busy attacking on the other side of the map, the Dark Templar play has more potential to do some work.
You know, that's a good point, Artos, is if you're out, like Myungshik may want to be aggressive here, then that army is not defending back at home. And I'll tell you what, man, he could make a invisible Dark Templar there in the upper right to defend that, and then even drop down elsewhere and do damage there. So let's see what happens in the next minute. Myungshik's moving out. Unbeknownst to him is that there is an attack that is going to be brought down onto his main. But first, Myungshik actually has to see if he can't break Hero here at this entrance. Now, granted, it's 3 bases to 2.
That is a lot of Blink Stalkers.
May just back off.
A lot of Blink Stalkers indeed. Okay, of course he does have these overcharges. Only 1 pylon left here now. Very smart of him to be making some more here. He's got to buy that time. His Prism's going across the map. We do have an observer, actually, that I'm not sure where it is, if it came up to him or if it's staying at home.
I think he's going to use it to peek up onto the high ground. Now, as you can see, Myungshik's doing a really good job controlling. Remember those Zealots we were talking about earlier, guys? They're not that helpful in this moment.
Yeah.
I mean, they're soaking up some damage. Now, the one Immortal comes out here from Hero. Where is that Warp Prism, Artosis? It's in the center left, excuse me.
Yeah, he's going to need to do something with those DTs. Okay, he has 2 observers now, 1 at home and 1 here, but still, the DTs definitely can do some damage. Oh, a good blink up.
He's committing. And does a great job now taking out more and more of these units over here. There's reinforcements now on the low ground. So he's going to commit. We're about to get a shot of it, I believe. In the bottom left, that Dark Templar drop is about to happen. Right now, Hero just scrambling, trying to hold his entrance. There it goes. Hero now has the DTs inside the back expansion and the main base.
Oh, he's dealing with that so quickly, so well. Void Ray does pop out, but this is just too strong a push from Myungshik, it seems. DT's trying to go to work on these Stalkers. Maybe we'll end up holding this, I guess.
I'm not sure. I think actually the push can keep happening over here.
Yeah.
Now,
his DT harassment did really not do much damage, by the way.
That was really close. He almost took out the Warp Prism there.
How many probes did he get? Like 1 or something?
Well, it's 50 to 52, but it's 3 base versus 2 base. I mean, Hero's expanding again behind this, but you got to assume a good amount of probes were killed off there, right, by those DTs?
Looks like he's lost a total of 5 this game, so not that many, considering the Phoenixes got 2 or 3 when they were harassing.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
That was like really not the DT drop he was looking for, but I guess it kind of slowed him down, made him warping units at home, and that kept Hero alive.
Now that War Prism's still out on the map. The Phoenixes are going to come in here and see if they can't scout anything at all. They take out 1 worker, nothing too impactful. And with that War Prism in the center left of the map, by the way. We'll have to see if Myunchik decides to leave again. Because I do think that the big issue in this game is that Myunchik just has a bigger army. And as much as Hero can distract him and try to keep him from actually attacking his side of the map, eventually when Myunchik does secure his bases and keep himself safe, I think that Myunchik should be able to go in there and get a kill.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for a kill too. Whenever you see a Protoss go for glaives in this matchup, that means that they just want to pile on gateway units and do a finishing move.
I like the way you put that. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, like glaives is not a long-term, like I guess you can get it if you have a huge economy and you want to harass and stuff, but like what I'm thinking we're going to see here, Tasis, is just a massive, massive attack. And you know, with Charge Immortal kind of being what Hero's doing in the obvious choice, I mean, Adepts can do all right against these Zealots in the low numbers. Absolutely.
Another DT is moving out on the map. Do we have an observer with this army?
I'd be pretty surprised if he doesn't.
Well, that DT just went right by. Where is his observers at all?
I don't know.
I actually have no idea.
Huh.
Kind of strange. Especially when you see the guy when DTs against you. Normally you get a bunch of those.
Yeah. More and more Stalkers being warped in here. He's kind of out of position right there. Warps in more Zealots. I don't want him at the front.
Oh,
you
man,
can take a lot of damage.
Go.
Oh, God. And already 2 Immortals look like they're going to fall.
Yeah.
2 of them falling right away. He was way too far in front of those pylons there.
Okay, but here comes that drop. Nothing here really to defend.
And Myunchik's super fast on pulling those probes, though. And
now the
he
problem
doesn't,
is,
he doesn't really
with
have
Zealots
anything.
out like this, I mean, you can just make the force fields.
Yeah.
There's just not a whole lot that you can actually do.
He lifts up the Immortals, but that doesn't even matter because he doesn't have any units actually attacking here. And this is a very dead Hero. He just does not really have anything at this point.
Okay, force fields are coming down here. I think this is the end of game 1, Artosis.
Yeah.
There's just too much. But interesting game. Myunchik had a very good start. I thought Hero, given what he had in this game, played a very good. He did a good job. It was actually better than I expected. But Myunchik eventually just stabilized and pushed out across the map. And I mean, this is just too many Protoss units here. There's no way that Myunchik can be stopped. Hero, now we've known he occasionally takes his time to digest his losses before he times that out. Okay, never mind. GG's right there. Okay, so a 1-0 lead here from Myunchik. So far, no surprises tonight.
No, going kind of like you would expect. And Hero kind of showing what we expected too in a way, right? Like, he went for the Stargate opening, that's fine, but to follow that up with hidden DTs and trying to do a DT drop, that's like, that by definition isn't stable. He's looking to kind of mix things up in a different way, catch Myunchik off guard, and it just absolutely did not work out. And Myunchik was so fast. Every time he pulled his probes, immediately had his observers in place. Like, Myunchik is really looking fantastic right now.
But props to Hero. That was not a horrible game by him.
No,
that was actually
he
better play than when he was in Code 8 trying to qualify for this tournament.
Yeah.
I will say Myunchik definitely got in there and got under his skin early.
Yeah.
With that scouting probe and blocking off the expansions. I mean, that's kind of exactly what you want to have happen if you're against a player that you basically know that you're better than.
Yeah.
Is give me a few good moves, a few good plays early on, because I am just going to stack these up.
Well, we'll see if Hero can do something here. King Sejong Station, a lot of places to hide things, a lot of tricky builds can be used.
In the upper left, in the blue, losing game 1, our underdog tonight.
Hero.
And in the bottom right, in the red, he is
SK Telecom T1, Youngshik.
Now the thing about Myunchik is that he really does have his own brand of a play style, you know? He really, it is different from pretty much everybody else's.
Yeah.
He's very, very comfortable with having a good window kind of timing attack.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming down, guys. Hope you're enjoying the show. But yeah, when you watch the way he plays, a lot of times he doesn't. Oh, whoop, we have a pause.
Okay.
All right.
Hero asking for that pause, maybe some hotkey issues or.
Can I just say I'm not surprised?
Like
It's Hero asking for the pause.
Why is that?
Looking at the history of GSL and Hero.
Yeah. Okay.
We have pauses from time to time with him. Well, we don't know what the issue is. I don't even know if we're going to get notified about this, but we do have our rep.
It's sound or hotkeys almost every time.
Yeah. Well, it seems like as of late, it's almost never the sound anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know. Those headsets proved pretty well.
Well, I mean, sometimes they like turn the sound off, or the sound isn't at the right level, or I don't know.
Well, I think whatever it is, he's getting his headset back on here. Of course, always better to have a pause than like now versus like when you're deep into a game.
Well, you don't want anything to go wrong. That would be really.
You
really
played
bad.
in a lot of tournaments. I mean,
yes.
Did you ever? How often did you ever feel like you were completely comfortable with your setup at a tournament?
Well, I actually used to always go to whatever tournament I was going to, if possible. Like if it was at a PC Bong, which is what they used to be at most of the time in the old days.
Right.
I would generally show up a day before and practice in PC Bong all day.
I did some of that too. I never felt 100% comfortable.
Yeah,
I never felt like I felt when I was at home in my PC.
No, totally.
My
like,
brother,
if I could
Day9 would actually bring his computer chair.
Yeah, I remember that.
He would drive to tournaments and have his own computer chair in the back of the car, so that he would roll that in, so he can make it as comfortable as possible. But even then, I never felt like I was at 100%, which is weird when you're playing in a tournament setting, because you know what you got to do, but still the feel like the table height or even the monitor size.
No, those are all really important. Like I brought cushions to raise my seat so that I would actually be at the right height and stuff like that.
You brought all those phone books you sat on when you were at home.
They were actually just cushions, but and like. Well, the one thing that I wish I could have convinced my mom to just come so she could yell at me while I was playing to take
just
out
like
the dog.
It's at home, yeah.
Because that would really be the only way I would feel normal in a StarCraft 1 tournament.
Yeah, it's just right in the height of the game. We needed your mom to come in and yell at you because
Daddy,
you forgot to mow the lawn or something. Well,
did you take out the trash? I'm in a game.
When are you going to be done? It's a TVT. I have no idea.
But you've asked me this for 10 years straight. I just don't know.
Well, we were just informed by our producer that it is an issue with the sound.
Called it.
I
accept your apology.
Yeah, I dropped the ball back there.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Hero after all.
Okay.
This guy has had a lot of pauses historically, but normally these issues we can resolve pretty quickly.
But I have something I want to talk about now that we have some downtime.
Sure, yeah.
So, new game came out. I'm sure anyone with any social media knows that Pokemon Go is out.
Yeah, I've seen that all over.
And I was really worried that I was
going
to get addicted to this game.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, Korea banned it, so we don't get to play.
It's banned in Korea?
Yes. There's some anti-mapping law in this country, so
Why?
we don't even have to worry about it. We can't even play the game.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
It's banned?
Yeah. Because what it does, right, is a camera like sees the ground and like it like makes like a Pokemon be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we can't do that. That's too dangerous.
What is the rationale between... This is like a city that's already covered in cameras.
I know.
Seoul is, by the way, guys, just in case you didn't know, like completely covered in cameras, which I don't actually have a problem with. It's a very safe city. You can walk around in the middle of the night and you're basically fine.
Yeah.
But that would be this would be like the perfect city to do that in Pokemon Go, right? You can just walk around.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about getting addicted to this game because we just simply can't play it. We're just not allowed because of where we live.
I've heard stories of people like going in their backyards at 2 a.m. with a Pokemon Go game trying to find some Pokemon somewhere.
Yeah. I mean,
well, if it's banned here, it has to be banned
apparently
other
someone
places,
already
right?
walked into some bad part of town and got stabbed and like their phone was stolen or something. Like,
well, that's one issue as well. I mean,
stuff.
In places where there are rough parts of town. I mean, if you were like in the rougher part of Chicago, you do not want to play Pokemon Go in the middle of the night, man.
Probably not.
That's interesting. Okay, anyways, guys, we're back. Issue resolved. Crisis averted. Okay, so already, guys, Hero is sending a probe to the upper right side of the map. Now, I thought this before I came in here, but there's no way that Hero is going to make a normal game this game.
No.
He's already up to something.
This is one of the best places to actually hide things on this map.
Or is he just checking for hidden stuff from Myunchik.
Well, he probably shouldn't be checking before the Cybernex core is done. That would be weird.
Yeah, but he's definitely got a probe moving around over there.
He does. He does.
It's looking all over.
Oh.
Well, I assume he's going to hide something up there in just a little bit. Now, here comes Myunchik. He's going to get inside the base here of Hero. See, it's going to be 2 gateways. And now that probe is headed southbound. Now, is he going to make the pylon over here? He's going to be up to something, guys.
Yeah, he went Stalkers to start out. So this could be anything here. But Myunchik having opened with Adepts, he's going to be able to get lots of scouting intel with that. And, of course, that leaves him a lot of money to add on whatever type of tech he wants with this as well. Possibly an expansion.
Now, just if we can take a step back outside of this match specifically, I'm a little bit worried if Hero ever thinks he's going to get out of this group if he's only doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because the other players in the group are allowed to watch the games, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Like, I mean, I don't think that, unless he's had the most insane month of practice, I don't think he came in today thinking he was going to make it to the round of 16, most likely, right?
Okay, now hold up. Hero's actually spotted these 2 Adepts. He's chasing them pretty effectively.
Yeah, very good.
And it looks like, I think he actually kind of miscontrolled that. I think he could have possibly gotten a kill there if he had handled that a little bit better.
And those Adepts, they just checked that there was no Nexus. So he knows right now that there is some sort of tech on the map. And he does what you would expect. He's throwing up the robot. That's just kind of what you have to do when you've taken an expansion. DTs are too scary, yeah.
Now, Myunchik is being pretty smart. Now, see how he's using the Shade form to make Hero continue to chase these? Okay, now because Hero split up some of his army, he just sends these in here. Now, the fact that there's almost no tech being shown should be a red flag right now for Myunchik. Myunchik says, okay, well, it's not in his main. It must be somewhere on the map.
Yeah.
And guys, for Hero's situation here, Hero has to win this game in the next few minutes, basically, or do so much damage that the game could continue on, because Myunchik is just going to get in the lead. Myunchik's playing a much more conservative game, much safer.
He would have to kill a lot of probes right here.
Oh, my God. Okay, it gets away.
Oh,
that's actually a pretty big deal. If he had lost that...
Well, if he had lost it, that's almost like game right there.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Just like too far ahead. Okay, so a little bit of poking and prodding here by Hero, but he doesn't really have any sort of advantage right now other than the advantage of having Oracles out.
Here's the other thing, Artosis, is that we see Hero's actually expanding himself. So I don't even know what this is anymore.
Well, I think he looked at this and said, I can't break this. He just has enough of everything.
So I guess Hero's going to be playing from a deficit then. You know?
Yeah, he's just much later on the expansion. He's got the 2 Oracles. We'll see what he gets done with those.
Oh, hold up.
Coming
hold up. He's hitting from all these different angles right now.
Little bit of miss micro right there, just losing one to the overcharge.
Yeah, if he had both those live, it would have been better. It does seem like this attack is just held off, though. Myunchik, even if he's out of position, Hero is not able to do enough damage.
Yeah, Hero does have a probe lead right now, which is kind of nice. He still has one of the Oracles out at least, but Myunchik going across the map. He does have a Prism, and ooh, that unit advantage. Doing very well by Myunchik.
Well, this is the problem, is when you look at probes and you look at tech, it doesn't tell the whole story because Myunchik just has more of an army. Look at this. He's going to be able to come up here and intercept this. Oh, nice blocking.
And he's picking up the Stalkers and dropping them to get more damage.
Well, I guess you can do that. I don't think I've ever casted a game that looked just like that.
No, that was really
pretty
well done.
cool.
Myunchik really good at micro here. A couple force fields go down. It doesn't actually get very much done there, though, with that Prism, utilizing it like it's a blink for the Stalkers.
Yeah.
There's not enough units here for Hero to hold.
Okay, is this going to trigger the next attack? Looks like he's going to come in here now. Now he triggers another pylon cannon, but there's not many more opportunities to do that here. The Mothership core, I should say, is almost out of energy. Also, the angling here for our blue Protoss Hero is not, he can't get out from in between those buildings very effectively. It kind of is a bottleneck. So even if he comes out across that, if he tries to run back in, they kind of bunch up.
Yeah, he's just trying to buy time right now for his Immortal. He's out of overcharges, which really is rough for him. He does have some Sentry energy left, not a whole lot. The Immortal is really kind of what he's banking on, but it shouldn't be enough here.
Okay, so many Stalkers here, and he's just microing very well, picking up the bruised units and dropping it back off on the outside. Now, this one Immortal is actually pretty important here. Without this Immortal, you can't hold it. However, it's the sheer number that Myunchik has slowly pushing forward that's the real issue.
The Adept Weapons are really helping here as well, tanking so much damage, dealing good damage against these light units, and Like this is the micro of Myungshik is too strong.
Look at this incredible control here.
Who needs blink when you have a War Prism?
Yeah, look at this. This is actually some of the best micro I've seen with a War Prism in my entire life.
Pretty ridiculous.
That was actually so beautiful.
Yeah.
Now look, all of those are bruised.
They're really bruised.
Yeah, because
I'd have like 2 stalkers left here.
Yeah.
Hero would kill me from here.
No, I would have less stalkers and I would have lost my War Prism in the process.
Yeah.
Like, this is what would have happened to me. But yeah, that's actually I think just it. He just gets in here, he's just too good. And that is what happens in a match that is, you know, when one player is clearly the favorite.
Yeah.
So Hero's going to go down 0-2. And that's going to bring us to our winners match in what is seeming to be a very fast-moving day today.
It really does seem that way. 2-0, 2-0 so far. Some good Immortal Micro overall, but Myungshik's War Prisms are just madness. Wow.
GG, okay. Myungshik was way better than Hero in that game. And it was, I gotta say, especially for a player like Hero, Hero does not normally lose based off his control purely.
Yeah.
But Myungshik juggling those stalkers into the War Prism, that was incredible.
Not a lot of Protosses would have just straight won against Hero there. Like, Hero was gonna hold that against almost everyone, but that was really fantastic. He utilized that Prism as if his stalkers had blink.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, he was actually
taking the angle that the War Prism was coming at, picking up stalkers behind it, and then dropping them out onto the stalkers as they're running.
Yeah.
And he made that look so smooth and easy.
Yeah, and like just the fact that he rotated out so many orange stalkers where like if the Immortal hits it one more time, it's dead.
It's gone.
But he just keeps popping them out. Really well done by Myungshik.
But then he has like 6 stalkers that are all in the orange.
Yeah.
But it's fine. They can still do damage. And yeah, he ended up breaking him. I don't think a lot of the Protoss players we have would have broken Hero.
Yeah,
like
I think the
Hero
game
would have held
on.
against almost anybody else. But Myungshik looks very good.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to go to a short break. When we come back, a great PvP coming up. It's going to be Myungshik versus Stats, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
You ever go down?
겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
짬뽕이네. 와, 맛있는 거. 근데 어디서 시킨 거예요? 그거 시킨 거 아닌데. 어떻게 볶음 진짬뽕인데. 어떻게 볶음 진짬뽕. 볶음 뜬 짬뽕. 볶음 뜬 짬뽕. 와, 정말로 화끈하네. 볶음 진짬뽕 외에는 절대 현혹되지 마소.
거의 뭐 신개념 리액션 아닙니까? 변신! 아닌데, 야, 팔이 이렇게 고정되어 있잖아, 이거. 아하! 그래! 이게 어플 되는 게 스노우앱만 가능해요. 이거 히트 치겠다. 여기가 바로 나의 주제! 온다! 야!
오늘은 바베큐 장난 아니야. 항정살, 오겹살, 야, 어머 웬열. 진짜 맛있어요. 오겹살, 항정살, 쌈장 딱 해가지고 웬만하면 참으려고 했는데 메타그린이랑 같이 있으니까 먹어도 됩니다. 밥이다. 오늘의 주인공 하루치는 세정 메타그린과 함께 다음 주에 깊이 쩍 빠진 저희 모습도 기대해 주시고요. 안녕.
거의 게임 마스터. 무슨 게임을 하더라도 뭐 기본 이상.
네.
지금 그걸 연습할 때가 아닙니다. 그렇습니다. 이렇게 하는 거예요. 이겼나?
이겼나 이거?
추가 시간. 좋아. 자리야 킬. 나이스.
드디어! 소나님이랑 닮았다는 소리는 좀 듣는데 LW팀 소개합니다. 저를 키우는 게 보통이 아니거든요. 파이팅! 나이스! 공 한번 쓰죠.
한 명 이겼어요.
나이스!
와! 이겼어. 야!
게임 방송에서도 할 의향이 있어요.
방패 정도는
아, 우리 범 선수에 다시 한번 박수 치면서.
저 박수를 한번.
이거 팀장 미팅이냐? 이게 뭐라고 이렇게 긴장이 되죠? 느낌 왔어! 자, 들어가자. 지금이지! 마무리야!
오버워치
파이팅!
우리 올리브영에서 드디어 루이조를 변화시키기 위해 우리 아프리카와 함께 루이조 변화시키기 대장정이 들어갔어요. 이게 스타일 업무 제품입니다. 피부 밝아지는 것 같은데? 와, 이런 게 올리브영 클래스구나. 러마띠. 와우! 영국 스타일. 겁내 멋있네. 나가면 번호 따일 것 같은데? 여기서 마무리할게요. 우리 제품은 올리브영 제품이었습니다.
올리브영 플러스 유소나 예뻐져라 뷰티 방송. 홈쇼핑 아닙니다. 첫 뷰티 방송 시작하겠습니다. 달콤한 꽃에 겹겹이 둘러싸인 듯. 아, 여러분, 이 모든 제품들을 올리브영에서 살 수 있습니다. 새로운 네일 아트로 사랑을 표현할게요. 감사합니다. 고맙습니다. 세상에.
미소가 생기다. 화사함이 생기다. 건강한 하루가 생기다. pH 8.0과 풍부한 미네랄로 핑크빛 생기가 생기다. 아이시스 8.0. 이제 모두 핑크하세요.
답답할 때 마셔봐요 트로피카나. 상큼상큼 과일 듬뿍 스파클링.
리얼 프루트를 스파클링으로.
과즙이 톡톡 쏜다. 트로피카나 스파클링.
스타일? 상쾌하면 되는 거야. 상쾌함의 높이가 다르다. Stylish Sparkling Water 롯데 트래비.
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
(2016) Hot 6 GSL Season 2 Code S.
We got the obligatory dubstep coming in here. This is not an
Wouldn't be
esports
esports
tournament.
otherwise.
It wouldn't be esports if it wasn't like.
Yeah.
Although we don't do as much dubstep here at GSL, do we?
No, we have all sorts of
We
stuff.
have all sorts of stuff. Some of these esports you can chill out with the dubstep though.
Yeah, it was cool for a while.
It's not 2011 anymore. But
No.
But this one's not bad that we got here. Guys, welcome back to the GSL Code S. We're going on to the winners match here tonight. The first person who's going to escape on to the round of 16.
Looks like you're right, Taste. So Protoss is going to get out tonight.
Looks like, yeah, at least one, as far as we know. Yeah, I mean, let's see what happens with these two guys facing up. Myunchik and Stats have very different play styles. They're both obviously very solid and good under pressure. I think we all know that Stats is supposed to win, but that doesn't mean he will.
Yeah, like Myungchik can definitely take him down.
It's a best of three.
You know, these are two of the best teams. They're really strong Protosses. Stats has done better this year, and better overall, I would say. But Myungchik is right there. He's knocking on Stats' doorstep, you know?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm really curious about how game one will go. Now, Myunchik, I think, out of all the games I've seen of him and casted of him, he does seem to be inclined to do timing attacks.
Yeah,
and I'd say way more than Stats. Stats will do it, but on a more reasonable level.
Yeah,
Myunchik is very much, especially the start of Legacy, was like all of his stuff was timings.
Yeah,
and he would just bust down Terran
pretty
bases,
much
take out Zergs when they're in the middle of teching to something, wreck a Protoss who thinks he can get another Nexus up. So I think Stats is going to have to be very, very defensive.
I think you're probably right about that. It is PvP, so there's a lot of tricks that can come into play as well here from both sides. And Myungchik might be able to out-mind game Stats here and take that first seed. That'd be a bit of an upset for sure.
It would be. Everybody is expecting Stats to move on, but anything could happen. Game number one is on Dust Towers. This is Stats versus Myunchik. In the bottom right in the blue, our first Protoss player,
KT Rolster. Stats.
And in the upper left, in the red, our other Protoss player.
SK Telecom T1, Young Shake.
Stats trying to get there right away.
Oh, yeah. We'll get this on screen in a second here, guys, but this has already had kind of a funny start.
Tasteless.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I gotta ask you a question.
Ask away.
Oh my god, it just left my brain. Oh my god.
Are you serious? You just had a brain fart?
Yeah. I'll get it back, don't worry.
Just like people, everybody has brain farts or ptosis.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's not normally like you.
Yeah, no, I
feel like that's actually
had
more like
something
me.
and I was just like looking at the pylon health and I'm like, he's gonna kill the pylon. And then it left my brain. So here we are.
That's fine. If it comes back to you later on, you can ask it to me. So we had Stats in that probe out right away and try to get up into the main there from Myunchik. Now Myunchik walled that off. And so Stats is going to expand again. I really like this style of play in PvP on this map. I think it's always worth it to send the probe out.
Yeah,
There's
I like
so
it a
many
lot.
opportunities to get in the way of your opponent, and I just like the fact that I can at least see what he's doing anyways. I can try to annoy him in that sense. And so Stats is getting very close to actually getting this pylon here.
Yeah, the Zealot is going to pop out, it looks like, to save this pylon. So that's,
good blocking there. That was nice.
That's well done. But he forces the Zealot out, and again, like, do you really want that Zealot? I guess it's like, I would make the Zealot too, and
oh, I think that's what
go
makes the
scout
build
with it
good.
at least.
Is because you want to get rid of that probe. You spend 100 minerals making this unit that doesn't really have a lot of utility. Zealots are just not that strong early on. They're not fast. Stalkers can run away from them and hit them forever.
Yeah. Just kind of sit there and tank up some damage and maybe save a pylon for you. Well, it's time for the tech tasteless. This is where we get to see who's going to maybe have an advantage.
Okay, we got Twilight Council coming up right now for Stats. We're still waiting to see exactly what direction Myunchik wants to take this game in. Myunchik getting his Nexus up a little bit later is going to get his tech up a little bit later as well.
And that
and it's also going to be a Twilight Council. Now, just because Stats is getting his Twilight a little bit earlier, that doesn't necessarily mean that Myunchik's at a huge disadvantage.
No, certainly not. And in fact, you see Stats, he is scouting around a little bit more because Myunchik did make his Cybernetics core a lot faster. He knows that there could be some sort of proxy. So he's scouting around for that. Whereas Myunchik just going straight into the main base here with the Mothership core. So he might harass these probes a little bit, but if he does, it means there's a possibility he doesn't get to see what the tech is.
Kind of interested in seeing Myunchik do this. I don't feel like that was worth it to actually try to go for those. I don't know. I guess he's going to go ahead and teleport back no matter what. But
yeah, he doesn't get to see the tech though,
yeah,
right?
I think the scouting's a little bit more important than making them have probes come off minerals there.
Like, the thing is, you can get like a couple probes of the Mothership core, like a decent amount, but the tech is definitely like very important to see. He doesn't see that, but both are going Blink. Both are going Robo.
PvP is one of these matchups where if you have map hacks, you are going to do so much better. Obviously, it's a match. I mean, StarCraft 2 is something where if you ever have map hacks, you're going to do better. But PvP, especially if you know what they're doing,
it's huge.
And you can just counter it directly, that is ideal. And so, yeah, I mean, a lot of this does come down to, can you get that scouting off? So we got 2 more gateways coming. Actually, sorry, 2 more gateways for both these guys. Blink is coming along from Myunchik and Stats. So this game, they're both kind of going in the same direction. In fact, we don't have any real deviations.
No.
A little bit like Zerg vs. Zerg, where they start out sometimes looking a little bit different. They can end up back in the same place.
Yeah.
Although much less common in PvP.
That is what we're seeing as well.
Yeah.
Like, Stats get his Twilight a little bit quicker. That's really the only difference. This is where it might deviate. Like, does one of these players want to go pressure? Does one of these guys want to immediately take an expansion? Who starts Immortals first? These are really the important questions.
Well, especially the Immortal part, because Immortals are the answer to Stalkers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a War Prism right away for Stats, which generally, guys, as we've seen before, does point towards them wanting to be aggressive. Because if you were going to make anything else that you could use at the moment, you should have gotten Observers, you should have gotten Immortals. You only need the War Prism the moment that you can actually use it. The sign of a bad player would be somebody who makes a War Prism and then sits at home with it.
It's really mean, Tasteless. I do that. I make my Prism, I'm like, Warp Gate research isn't done, huh? Why did I chrono boost this? This is stupid.
Well, this is the difference. It's like, oh, we're old and not as good as we used to be. Issues. Okay, so Myunchik's actually warping in over here. Now, Stats already has his blink done, but Myunchik is not far behind in that. In fact, his is done as well.
Stat's going to see what kind of damage he can get done with this Prism. He has a few more Stalkers out. Of course, the defensive Mothership Core going to help out a lot, but both are taking their third bases. So.
And we actually have a DT drop coming here from Myunchik.
Oh.
Okay, now I really like this because the angling here is actually fantastic. It makes it much tougher for this army to get over here and comfortably fight. As you can see, it's kind of like a little pathway that they have to go through. So he's bringing some of his probes down here as well.
And by the way, Myunchik did just pick off the Observer that was over here, just kind of a little thing to point out. He took the time to pick that off. Of course, you want to do that against a Blink-In so they can't do it as easily the next time, but also that's going to help him out with that DT drop you're talking about.
He's going to try to hit in the front, but while he's doing that, he's going to drop Adepts into the main. But there's about to be the DT drop over here on the other side of the map. So this is starting to really pick up here. Now he shift-clicked on, well, he did shift-click on those probes. Meanwhile, Myunchik actually drives out the forces at the front. Good maneuvering by Stats, though, comes over here. He's going to be able to hit some more of these probes that are down in this expansion. The longer it keeps us alive, the more difficult it's going to be for Myunchik to actually counterattack. And we never actually had that DT drop happen.
No.
That was a little bit weird.
It's just about to finish, right? The Dark Shrine? Just finishing, or?
No, I think it's been done for a little bit, right?
Is it? Okay.
I thought
well,
so.
He's warping in a couple right now.
Okay, he's doing it now. He might have just been too taxed and multitasking to use that, but...
Yeah, it could be.
Because I thought that would have been the moment to really do it, is when the attacks are going on. It's much harder for a Protoss player to deal with that and keep up with that. It looks like the Observer does see the War Prism.
Okay, maybe didn't actually catch it with his eyes. Oh, yeah, he's not moving his army.
Yeah.
So this DT drop is going to go off in the back and could get a lot of kills.
The Observer saw it, but the Observer saw it, but Stats did not. So the DTs are now coming down in here. Stats needs to do as much damage, and I love this. Another DT comes in over here. He's going to try to get probes in all these different locations.
Oh, he catches that one as it walks in, as that Observer is going by. And looks like he's dealt with it for now, but that is a kind of scary thing that can continue to occur throughout the game.
Temple Archives is finishing up there. Meanwhile, Myunchik actually moving out on the map. I don't know if Myunchik can actually break Stats, though. He might be able to if he just makes 4 DTs somewhere, although it's not really easy to make them anywhere right now with the defensive position, but he might be able to make DTs somewhere and drop them and then hit the front, but I think Stats might be even. Let's actually see here.
This is a lot of Stalkers right
huge.
now. Oh my god, he's actually going to pick that off right away. Has this Archon to tank a lot of damage, and it does tank a lot of damage right there. Bunch of force fields coming down, try to slow him down at the moment.
Well, it's 3 Immortals versus 1. Oh my god, great blink there. You know, Stats is not quite in position. This is Myunchik again with some of his really good timing attacks. Oh my god, he notices there's no DT in here, or no Observer rather.
Oh my god, that is huge.
That's actually a really big deal.
Oh, that DT dealing a lot of damage. Finally, he does get detection, takes that out as well.
Now,
but this is so many Stalkers.
He may blink on top of that Immortal here. Oh, for some reason, I thought that was actually Myunchik's War Prism for a second. GG, that was actually Stats flying his War Prism over that. Looks like a bad hotkey setup there, or just bad multitasking.
All army key or something like that, perhaps. But yeah, that was good. And it was what you were talking about, Tasteless. Very much a timing attack there, right? Like, he overmade Stalkers, which if he doesn't use them right then, right there, his army gets worse and worse as the Immortal counts get higher and higher.
Yeah.
So he had to get that damage done, and he did it. Very well done by Myunchik.
Okay. Stats has lost the first game. Stats is the guy who is the favorite to get out of this group, but he may have met his match right now in PvP. Myunchik wins that game. Stats has to win this next game and the one after that. Otherwise, Stats is going to go into our final match for tonight.
That could be rough. Like, Kier did not look like he's going to lose every game to Stats. You know, I don't think it's like a clear 2-0 victory for him if he does hit Kier again.
It seems like Kier is starting to find his footing there against Stats.
Yeah.
Now, we're already assuming that Hero's going to get knocked out in our 4th best of 3. That would be very exciting if he didn't, but I think we're all rational human beings here. And if you have any knowledge about the game and about the way the Hero's been playing compared to everybody else, you'd probably assume that Hero's not going to move on. We'll see. But for now, we're just assuming that the loser of this goes on against Kier. Anyways, this is game number 2, Stats versus Myunchik on the map King Sejong Station. In the upper left, in the blue, Protoss player he is.
KT Rollster. Stats.
In the bottom right, in the red, he is.
SK Telecom T1. Young shit.
With a thumbs up there in his picture. He's a pretty positive dude.
Yeah.
Pretty friendly guy. Seems to be in good spirits in the studio. You know, it's so interesting. You see so many different players, ranges of emotions with players at tournaments. You get guys who are like really high strung, you know, or irritable.
Yeah.
And then you have somebody like Hyun, who
the most laid back, cool
Hyun
guy.
might as well just like be in the park or something, or like he's about as happy as like most people are when they're in a pet store and there's puppies around.
That's true, yeah.
He's like, yeah, no, I got to go up against my teammate and beat him. See you later. Bye. And he just goes up there and wins, or he loses. He's still fine, but
yeah,
you got to get every range of emotion of people.
Definitely. Like, people have all sorts of different things going on in their brains with that. It's kind of wild. Oh, I wonder if this might be a Void Ray all-in.
Yeah, I think it is. It's very close.
It could be. That's a good location for Void Ray all-ins to proxy right there. And they're kind of like having a little bit of a resurgence in PvP right now, so could be. I mean, obviously, it could just be like a proxy Oracle too.
It could be a proxy Oracle. Sometimes we see that put a little bit further back because it's less time to scout it, and the Oracle's so fast anyways, they can make up for that distance just in the speed at which it gets there. But yeah, I mean, it could be Void Rays as well.
We'll see shortly here. Stats making a couple of adepts. Making that Mothership core as well, getting ready to expand. And his own
Stargate of his own.
Okay, Stargate can be very good at fighting Stargate, that's for sure.
Yeah, sometimes that can counter their own Stargate because yours is safer. And if they get out there, they can get a lead on air units and also take out yours. Wow, look at this.
Mothership core on the way out.
Now you gotta think, right? Isn't it
he's
like
going to turn left. He'll turn left. Watch, he'll see this for sure.
I don't think so, man.
I think he will. Like, you got to go left on the way back.
Not only is he
right?
not going left, but he's going directly back up.
Ooh.
Despite the fact that to the left of that is where you could scout that hidden building. Unreal.
Well, he doesn't see it.
Yeah, he just doesn't know. Might even be slightly more confident that there's nothing there because he scouted at least a little bit of that map. Nice block, by the way, with the gateway there. Okay, so this is an all-in. He's getting 3 more gates.
Yeah, this is like MC was doing, but with a proxied Oracle. Very, very strong build. Can knock people down quite easily. Oracle on the way right now for stats. Now, that's actually, like, obviously you want a Phoenix, but the Oracle won't be too bad because the Oracle can actually, like, screw up any attacks that Myungshik tries to pull off because he's
here we go. Immediately triggers the pylon cannon, and actually that, okay, he's just out of range. I was going to say he might actually take too much damage there.
Ooh.
Wow.
And you shouldn't have it right at that
Not the
place.
assimilator, no!
You don't actually want it wasting its energy on that, to be honest. You'd rather not attack anything.
It's better if you're...
Okay, a little bit of miss micro there. Only gets 4.
But he did delay some mining.
Hey, did he cancel the Oracle? I think he did, right?
I think so. I think he starts to make Phoenixes. Because if I understand this correctly, he just wants to barrel up the ramp. So he can use a few Phoenixes to pick up stuff here and there. However, Stats is just meeting Myungshik in the middle of the map, and I think that pylon put out there is a big tell that there's something going on in this game.
Well, Myungshik just has to pull back and expand from here. Like,
yeah,
he can't really do much, and in fact, he can't even make Phoenixes.
He's actually walled himself out of his
never
main.
mind.
I don't think that 4th gateway was supposed to finish.
Well, I mean, a 4-gate is going to be just as well. His Stargate's on the other side of the map. He's behind in tech. He's behind in units. Hey, may as well make a bunch of stalkers, see what you can get done.
Yeah, just all in with a massive amount of stalkers.
Yeah.
There's no tech here. There's no real out right now from Myungshik other than he like wins some big fight in the middle of the map or gets up the ramp. Okay, but he actually could go around this.
Stats couldn't be more out of position.
Yeah. This is actually, I think, a pretty big error here by Stats. Oh my God, but Myungshik's going back.
Myungshik is making a Stargate at home. That's crazy. Why would you make it? That's crazy to make a Stargate right now, right? Like,
this is so weird.
You will never catch up on Phoenixes. You have to count him. Oh, that's smart.
That's so smart.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, same.
God, he's so smart.
I actually was just thinking that he would like have to try to start like turning around right away or leave one stalker there.
Myungshik wanted those stalkers so bad.
Okay, well, that was a great play there by Stats. Now, he might not have enough energy to do pylon cannons, but I think he's going to be okay. He got rid of the functionality of that Stargate. Now, there's another one being remade. So this is like a super all-in right now from Yunchik.
Yeah, this is really...